project, guys. Sick little buggy to work on. Check it out. Got you in it.
Whatever.
Right, we've got the new project in the shed, ready to go. We've got our list of jobs to do for this little buggy. We've got intrusion bars to fit, some gussets for the intrusion bars, a harness bar at the back for the seat belts, fully welded rad mounts, and make up a little exhaust for it, which will be this little thing here. I reckon something like that's what we're going to go for. The intrusion bars, they're going across the side, running along here. We're going to follow the contour of that original bar, and then also have an upright to brace the roof. Another support bar coming down the bottom section here. Harness bar right at the back, and then there'll be a couple of little triangular gussets to strengthen it. They're the radiator mounts, just got to finish welding them off. And yeah, that'll be it. Cool little project. Let's get started. Okay, first job we're going to tackle is the intrusion bars. Now this little sketch here is indicating this is the bottom chassis rail. This is the new intrusion bar. We got to have 450mm clearance minimum between the top of the chassis rail and the underneath of the intrusion bar. Now I've just made some measurements, so from the top of the chassis rail to the bottom of the intrusion bar puts it right about there, and I've done the same measurement on this side. That's how it's going to sit. The bar below it has a nice little bend in it to give you a bit more clearance when you're seated in there, so we're going to replicate that. We're going to copy that same bend for the new intrusion bar. So let's get the angle gauge on this, see where it is, and bend some tube. So there we go, we've got 20-degree bend in it. Let's go put some tube in the bender and bend her up. Now I should point out here, I don't actually have the right die for my bender for this size tube. Now I believe this is 1 3/4. I've got a 2-inch die in here. So we're just going to see how it goes. Fingers crossed. viewers, we are up to the stage where we need to notch the intrusion bar into this upright. Now, that bar leans inwards, and then it's also got an angle backwards for the windscreen, so a little bit difficult to set up in my tube notcher, but I've got it all ready to go. It's my little notcher set up here. Works an absolute treat, but sometimes the angles are a little bit difficult to get right. This is from JD Squared. It's called the Beast. It's a bit of a beast. So I've set my angle here. This is 36 degrees, and then to get the other angle, we've rotated the pipe in the vise, which needs to be 18 degrees. It's 17.8, that is close enough. Now we're ready to notch, and fingers crossed I got it right. It survived. Woo. Nice, perfect, clean notch. Alright guys, we've got this bar made up, all notched, sitting in there nice. I'll tack the front, let's throw a tack on the back and stand back, see what it looks like. That'll do it. Absolutely spot on, guys. So we got 452mm clearance all the way along that bar from the chassis rail up. It's looking pretty good. Nice. All right. Now, what we're going to do next is a couple of supports up at the top. Then we're going to continue that bar all the way down to here, and then another gusset up here. So let's do that now. Alright, so we got these little gussets all cut to size and notched out. Did take a little bit of grinding on the ends just to shape it right, because the existing tube is not exactly even, but that's sitting in there beautiful. We got both sides done. That side's ready to go as well, but before we can weld this in, we've got to get all this old paint off of the tube. So just got my little brass wire wheel here. I think it's brass, no, maybe steel. Just going to use it in the die grinder to buff all that paint off, and then we can weld them in place. Alright, we've got that all cleaned up, all ready to weld, but I reckon these seats are in the way to weld on this backside, so I'm going to rip them out quickly so we can get the torch in at a nice angle. Alright, got the seats out, got plenty of clearance to do all the welding we need to now. Time to fire the welder up. Alright, so those lower gussets are all fully welded, all burnt in. Looking nice and strong. The next piece of the puzzle is going to be this bar here, which is going to sit just like that. So it'll pick up on top of the gusset we've just installed, go into the underside of the intrusion bar, and then pick up on top of the intrusion bar, and then right into this roof radius here. So in case of any sort of rollover, that's a high impact point, and that's going to transfer the load all the way down to the chassis, make it super strong and nice and safe. So let's get to it. So actually just use that tape to give us a line of where it's going to sit, and we're actually going to use the 1 3/4 tube for this little small section, and then the smaller tube up to the roof so it doesn't impede vision for the driver. And I think we'll do this lower section first, so just need to measure the angles, start cutting, notching and welding again. Pretty good sweat up doing that, but we've fully welded in the intrusion bars and the gussets. Really happy with how this turned out. Now that's going to be super solid. Both sides are done. Now we got these uprights out of the smaller tube, the 1-inch tube. And that's all the extra bar work done. Alright, let's finish this last bit off. So I've jumped ahead a bit here. I've cut that tube, notched it, I've got it sitting in position there, and it looks really nice. So let's weld it in. Climb inside into finish that weld off. Alright, take a look at that. Beautiful. So that is the intrusion bar and gussets on this side, completely finished. And it looks sick. She's looking real tough now. And the main point is there's a lot more safety in it and a lot more strength in the roof if there ever was a rollover. Now unfortunately I have completely run out of the small tubing, so I can't finish this other side yet. So we might leave that for now. I'm going to move on to the harness bar.